this time of social isolation and distancing and all of this period of time that for most of us, we have not been able to meet together as a church. It's been hard. It's been really difficult. I miss all the people. I miss the physical contact with people. I miss their smiling faces and the laughing children and everything about it I miss. Can't wait till we can get back together again and have church together and not just virtually online. We're loving what God's enabled us to do with the online church. It's been beautiful, but there's no substitute for coming together, hugging people and shaking hands and laying hands on them when you're praying for them. It's a beautiful thing. We can't wait to get back together and experience that again. I have been isolated in this house since the middle of March. So basically the last 6 or 7 weeks I have been here, and it's a lovely home. I'm thankful that I have a lovely place in which to isolate myself, but it's getting old and I'm ready to get back to it again. And it's we're looking forward to it with great anticipation. Can't wait. When we get back together, we're going to have a big celebration, obviously, of just togetherness. We're going to celebrate being able to see one another and talk to one another face to face instead of over a cell phone or a Zoom meeting. It's going to be a wonderful thing. I'm looking forward to all of that. But there's some specific things that I'm hoping to celebrate when we get back together. I'll go through a few of those with you just to maybe help get your thinking started along the same way. And you may come up with more than I've come up with and better ones than I've come up with. But we're going to celebrate when we get together as a church, when we get back together, we're going to celebrate some milestones that were missed. Here in Hawaii, where I am, the public schools were basically ended and they have not met in school for weeks and weeks and weeks, and the decision is made that we're on kind of lockdown until May 31st. So there will be no high school graduations, no seniors who have worked so hard for all these years looking forward to wearing a cap and gown and hearing pomp and circumstance played and marching across the stage and receiving their diploma. That's not going to happen for them. And it's heartbreaking because they've worked hard for it and they've looked forward to it for a long time. So when we get back together as a church, I'm really going to be intentional about looking for high school seniors who missed their graduation ceremony or college students who missed their commencement exercises. And it goes even further than that. Schools are kind of a feeder system. So middle schoolers are moving up to high school and some of them have a ceremonial transition moving up. They're missing that. Elementary school students moving to middle school and even preschools having graduation with little cardboard caps and gowns. They're missing all that. When we get back together as a church, let's celebrate those milestones that were missed and acknowledge them at least, and let the people who missed the milestones know that we care and we love them and we know that it was significant for them and that they're experiencing a loss. Let's celebrate those missed milestones. Another one that I'm really looking forward to celebrating, and I'm collecting stories right now, are ministry moments that took place during this. It didn't hamper our ability to minister, it just changed the way we're having to go about it. So just for example, my family personally, we're big box retail shoppers, Costco, Sam's Club, and we tend to buy in bulk and stockpile stuff. We don't hoard, but we stockpile. We have an ample supply of several things on hand that we know we're going to use. Eventually, when they're on sale, we buy them and we keep them. That's what happened with toilet paper. We happen to have toilet paper in our pantry, in stock, because we had bought every time it would be on sale and we would bring some home. So we have families within our church who are like saying, I can't find it. I go to the store. I've been several times. They don't have any. We've been able to bless them and help them by providing for them. There's a lady in our congregation who lives in a high-rise in downtown Honolulu, and she went to the assistant manager or the resident manager or someone in the building and said, I'm really concerned that there are a lot of senior citizens or some elderly people living here in this condo, and I want to be sure they're okay and that they have what they need. So with his permission and with him along with her, she went and knocked on every door in her high-rise, and she just talked to the people. She had the mask and the gloves and all that protective stuff, and she kept a distance, but she asked him, are you okay? Do you need anything? Do you have food? Do you have toilet paper? Do you have all the necessities of life that you need? And then in some cases, they were not eating properly because they're not able to get out and go to the grocery store. And she connected them up with some programs that are bringing hot delivered meals to elderly people in the community. And she made sure that they were taken care of. And that she's just ministering to people. And there's been a lot of that going on in practical ministry as well as spiritual ministry, where people have been calling and texting one another and encouraging. My wife does almost daily. She does a bunch of text messages to this big circle of women in our church with scriptural encouragement and letting them know she misses them and she's thinking about them and she loves them. And so ministry has been going forward. And when we get together, we need to celebrate that and acknowledge it and applaud and honor the people who've been ministering during this time of isolation. A third area, after the missed milestones and the ministry moments, a third area I think we really need to acknowledge, and we need to be thinking about this right now, is miracles that have taken place during this. You have people probably in your congregation, as I do, whose companies shut down for the past month or more. They've been unable to work. Some of them have been getting unemployment, some of them have not. Some of them were independent contractors and not getting anything coming in, and yet God has sustained them. I've been checking up on them and they say, we're okay. God's taking care of us. God is our provider. You need to know that those miracles of provision are taking place. Miracles of healing are taking place. There are people who can't go into the hospital for elective procedures, and yet God is keeping them alive and keeping them safe. You may have people in your community who have even tested positive for the COVID-19 virus, and yet God has sustained them and kept their families safe. Those are miracles, and you need to celebrate them. Miracles of provision, financial miracles, healing miracles. In some cases, we have been streaming our services live every week, and it's been kind of amazing to get feedback from some people in our congregation that say, my non-Christian relatives who would never come to church have been watching our services online because they're looking for hope. They're looking for answers. Who knows what seeds have been planted for the gospel and what miracles of salvation or restoration might be taking place as a result of this isolation. You know, God never wastes a hurt, and He won't waste this one either. He didn't cause this, but He'll take advantage of it and He'll receive glory from it one way or the other. So when we get back together, let's be sure that we celebrate the milestones missed, the ministry moments, and the miracles. Let's make that coming together a real time of celebration and honoring all of those things that God has been doing in us and with us and through us. And I pray that that time of getting back together in celebration will be very, very soon. We're all anxious. We're all tired of this new reality. We don't like it. We kind of want to go back to the way we're used to doing things. But don't miss what God's doing right now. Celebrate it.